Hi everybody and welcome back to another ABT video. So we're back at the workshop today as well, and we're going to be looking for Bob. I know he's back here somewhere working away on the jig. I know we haven't spent a lot of time with the jig explaining what it is, what it does, but I think this is a great opportunity. He's working on a very classic Mercedes. Not too sure what Mercedes it actually is, but let's go and find out what Bob's up to.
Right, so here we have noticed where it's all starting to come out of the line. So if we take a look at our measurement on this side, it's 48, and our measurement on this side is 48, but it's not sitting central to that point there, and it's not sitting central to that point there. Our height is 10.5 and our height is 10.5, so we know our height's correct. But as we come even more forward to the next mounting point, we are trying to align up that screw hole there. The easiest way to explain it is look at the gap that I've got in there, and as we go here I've got no gap and this just doesn't want to fit in there. Our height is at 15 this side, and our height on this side is 14.9, so we're within 1 millimeter of tolerance. We are allowed about 3 millimeters of tolerance. The other place I've seen a dirty big kink. You look at this side how it's all crunched in, so we're going to need to do something there, maybe pull that forward.
Alright Bob, what are you up to?
Hey all, and welcome to another ABT. So here we are, we've got this old classic Mercedes mounted up onto our jig. So this is coming from another body shop who have started doing all the body work on it, and realised that, hold on, things ain't straight on this car. So we've realised that somewhere along its life it's had a bit of a prang, bit of an accident, and it's moved the chassis across. Had a little bit of accident damage here, so we've been pulling the light panels out straight. We've pulled the light panel out straight there. We've pulled this flitch panel out. Now we're just doing a cross pull just to bring it over about 5 mil. Once that's done, then our work's done on this and we'll unload it. But follow me and I will show you how we've started measuring it. Come on.
Car looks like it's on life support with all these things rigged up around it.
We've got the car up onto the jig. We've got to make sure that we've got a good measurement underneath. So on this particular car, we couldn't get any data from our jig company. So we've had to make our own measurements and basically just go back to basics. So what we've done is we've set up our, what we call the ladder underneath. That's the long bar that goes all the way across. And then we've put our crossbars in, which are these. So what we've done, we've found 4 points under the car, 2 at the front, 2 at the front, 2 at the back. Now what that does is we've squared them up, so a car basically has to be square. We found the 4 points where I feel that are not damaged, so I've made a start with those. Got the back ones lined up, so I've written it up here. My center point is 50 and my height is 5.2. I've made a little drawing of my mounting point and what screw holes that I'm using. So when you look underneath, our measurement is 50 on this side, height is 5.2, and I've got my mounting measurement point there. And I've made sure that both sides are completely equal, the same as each side. So the other side should be reading the exact same numbers, the exact same measurement there and exact same measurement there. Then we move over to another point at the front, and I've done the exact same thing. Lined it up so that both sides measure the same, both heights measure the same. Now I know that my ladder is absolutely square to the underneath of the car. Now, if for some reason that one of these didn't align up, something down here didn't align up, I was a few mil out or I just couldn't line it up, then I know that that's a damaged point there. So now I've got to find another point that I feel isn't damaged and carry on from there. So my first choice was all right, we've started measuring it and we've got a square point underneath. Now, if we follow me up to the front where it's all happening. So now we come up to the front. So come and have a look at this. So we've got our measurements in. Now, I'm trying to measure off this mounting point here, and we've got another mounting point on this side. I'm not square. So now I know that my front end has gone over by around about 6 or 7 mil. I've also given myself another measurement under here. I'm coming off this chassis point here. So I know that we're about 5 mil off there and about 5 mil off on this side. So now what's going to happen, we're going to start giving it a little pull. We've got the pulling ram set up, so let's give it a go. So what we've just done there, we've started pulling, but what we can't do is, we know that we're about 5 mil out. So basically we got to give it an over pull of say like between 7 and 10 mil and then release it, and then that will come back to where we need it. Now, we can't just go for all hell break loose, so just press the button and give it a pull. It's got to be done in stages. Like, we just got to go slowly, give it a pull, release it, see what it's doing. We got to constantly see what's happening. We don't want to give it a pull and suddenly our clamps slip and we're in bigger problems. So everything is done in small little snippets. So at the moment we are within our tolerance. We are allowed about 3 to 4 mil of tolerance to have our measurements right. But I think we're probably another 3 mil out just to get it right. So let's go for another pull.
So Bob, this is all interesting stuff. I can see you're making really minute, fine details and changes here to all the different measurements. But where did you gain all this knowledge? I mean, I can't remember ever seeing any sort of video or anything like this on YouTube before. So where did you acquire all your knowledge?
So, well, I done my apprenticeship. I left school at sort of 16, 17, went into an apprenticeship, and this is where my foundation lies. Doing jig work, doing insurance work when I was working for other garages. So yeah, I've been doing this for the last over 20 years now. The way cars are manufactured now, the way they're built, it's totally different. Probably seen in one of our previous videos, the Porsche Taycan. That was glued, riveted, and it's aluminium. Totally different type of repair to what we're doing here. This is steel and spot welded, and it's got MIG welds over it. This can be manipulated, we can pull, we can straighten. With aluminium and glue and rivets, we're not allowed to pull. We just got to measure the car and start cutting out and replacing from where the car doesn't measure. So if this was aluminium, we wouldn't be pulling this. There'd be no pulling involved. This would be right. Take this out, do a measurement further back. If it's still damaged further back, take that out until the car is aligned, and then start putting new panels on. Here we're allowed to pull, we're allowed to manipulate these panels and pull them wherever we need them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the beauty of working here at ABT, because not only have we seen both methods in the last 2 videos, but we have the skill set here to be able to do that.
So 55, 55.3 is that one. 55.3. So I know that this point of the chassis is spot on. Yeah. Now we're at this point here, which is just been a bit.
Alright, I can't leave.
You recording? Oh, but you recording?
This. Okay, Bob, I've seen that you moved to a new point on the car. Can you tell me a little bit more?
So, you notice that this area here was sitting back, so we done another pull, clamped up there, gave this cross member a little tug forward, same at the bottom. Now, we've brought our mounting point forward so it matches up with that side. This car, it came in, it didn't look like much. But now we've been on this now, give or take, just under 2 days. You know, we were on it about sort of 4 or 5 hours, mounting it up onto the jig and started aligning it up, making our own measurements on the car, checking them, cross measuring. So by the time we'd done all of that, yeah, we had gone from sort of 4 or 5 hours and started going into the sort of 6s and 7s. Came in this morning and we've started pulling what initially was supposed to be 1 pull. It's now turned into probably about 5 or 6 pulls. But no, I think we're now at a point where I'm pretty happy with what we've got. Everything is well within tolerance, and what we're going to do next is start getting the wings on, lining them up, and yeah, that's it. We're almost home stretch with this one. Right, so we're here on our final measurement. We've done all our pulling, we know all our front straight, but while we've got this, while we've got it set up onto the jig, thought it's good practice to just double check the turrets, make sure that they're not out of the line. So that's what we've done here with measuring our turrets, our top suspension points. We've got this turret measurement system out, put it all together, and as we can see, both sides are exactly the same. All our measurements line up with each other, so I'm happy with this. Like we say, measure twice, pull once, and this car is now ready to start. So our next stage on this car is to start removing all of the measurement system and start putting the wings on, align the wings, get the bonnet on, get that aligned, make sure that the alignment's correct. Now what we do have against us on this job, we're dealing with a car that's from the 1960s, maybe 70s, I'm not too sure what year this car is. We're looking at panels that are maybe sort of 50 odd years old, 60 years old. We don't know what type of a life they've had, accident damage in the past, how straight they are. So that's going to be our next hurdle now, trying to work out what's straight, what's not, and try and get everything aligned up.
So this is a 300 SE, and SE means what, special edition or?
No, it's S injection is for Eisprit, which in German means injection. Mechanical fuel injection, 6-port, automatic, power steering, all in 1963.
And that's astonishing because most cars in 1963 were still carbureted.
Yes.
So having a vehicle like this that is non-carbureted and is basically the early parts of fuel injection.
Yes.
Fantastic. Bob mentioned this earlier as well. This car has an early form of air suspension as standard from Mercedes. What I wanted to understand here is that, does that mean that the car runs on a lot of a vacuum pump system, meaning wipers, mirrors?
No, that's all electric.
All electric, okay.
The air suspension, there is a compressor literally strapped onto the engine via a belt.
Oh wow, yeah.
That runs the pressure to the reservoir that maintains the height at each corner. And it's so sophisticated that if one half of your car was onto a curb, the system will automatically level the car so it will look like as if there's an indentation in the suspension, whereas the tires on the curb are higher than those on the road, so that it maintains level vehicle transversely.
Considering today's technology, if we're talking about the air ride technologies of today, all of this self-leveling technology that you're talking about right now is something that is hard come by today's management systems. And yet we're talking about a vehicle here that was in the, 1960s, you think?
It's 1963, so let's assume that Mercedes designed this at least 10 to 15 years before that.
Yeah. So we're talking about 10, 15 years before 1963, and they already thought about self-leveling technologies. The interior is stunning. This is the real veneer. This is the real thing. This is what you got back in 1963. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Guys, we're just looking at this right now as a reference guide to what potentially the 280 that we're working on inside could potentially look like. Hi everyone, so we're at the end of the day now, so the sun is setting and the job has come out amazing. So this Mercedes 280 SC,
280 SC or SEC or whatever it is, if someone knows what this car is, pop it in the comments below, let us know what we've been working on.
Absolutely. I mean, look, the job has come together. Bob, you've done an astonishing job here. It's not easy, guys, to be able to frame pull, to get cars on a jig and to line them up in the way that they are. Earlier, I mean, what a treat when the gentleman was able to bring down his 300 as a reference point, a gorgeous car, stunning car.
So we were really glad that he brought that down. So reason he brought that down today was we had an area which was really badly crumpled. So we had no reference points as what shape that should actually be. So he went back, he goes, let me go and bring my other car so we can have a look at that and, you know, get it the way it should be. And it brought that down, saw what was happening, straightened the panel out that was causing us all the problem, and after that everything just fell straight into place. So sometimes it can be something so simple holding up or causing stress in the job somewhere else, and with that, yeah, it just, like I say, it just fell into place, and it was happy days after that.
Absolutely. I mean, look at it now, guys. I mean, look, you can see this is the beginning of a very, very nice car. But Bob, am I mistaken? But in that top corner over there, am I seeing the Taycan?
So yeah, we've got the Taycan. In the previous video, you would have seen that it was all painted, all just getting finished off. So now we're just waiting on a few bits and pieces. So what happened with that, as we know that the car came from Copart, and it had come from another garage, from whoever stripped it down, and whatever happened with it, they didn't give us all the parts. So they've stripped it down and kept the parts there themselves. Hey, it happens with Copart or other auction sites. So now we're trying to source, locate all the interior parts. So we should have those in the next week or so. And we'll be seeing the end of that job, signing it off and back to the customer.
Amazing. Now guys, if you haven't seen already, last week we did a great episode on how to restore a Porsche's rear tailgate back to Porsche standards. It's a great watch. It's up here somewhere.
It's up here.
Wherever the ribbon is on the video.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched that video yet, I would strongly recommend you go and watch that video. Really, we do go into the intricacies of how to really build out a car to the original manufacturer spec.
To manufacturer's repair methods. The way the manufacturer intends for their car to be put safely back on the road.
And it's really nice to see that Porsche haven't lost their standards in any way.
Oh, it's amazing. The standards that the cars are built to now and what we've been repairing here, two totally different methods of the way cars used to be built to what cars are built today is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and it's not just about the case that, okay, older cars were built better or newer cars built better, they're different methods.
Technology and methods move forwards. Crumple zones have come into play, and everything on those sort of cars, they're there for a reason. Whereas before, cars were built to just be strong. Cars are now, the thoughts are actually gone into the design of them.
So guys, I think that's the end of this episode today. But guys, stay tuned because we've got something special coming in the next couple of weeks.
Next few weeks, we've got something else special coming in. I think that would be a great video.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned for that. That would be pretty good to watch.
With that, you need to
ping the bell, ting the bell, or press the button. What do they need to do?
Subscribe, please, guys. We'd really appreciate the follow.
Leave comments.
Leave comments below. We don't always get it right. Let us know what it is that we've got wrong, or if you have suggestions of how we can be better, let us know. But with that, I think
it's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Take care, guys.
See you later.